As Dawg Post members already know, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs hosted some of the nation's top prospects over the weekend. So, of course, I've got to give you a recruiting update. A lot going on right now is the dead period. So Kirby Smart and his staff had one final weekend to get some of the best players in the country on campus. That's exactly what happened. And one of the biggest visitors from this past weekend, of course, is five-star quarterback Julian Lewis, a special player out of Carrollton High School, coming off two of the best seasons any freshman and sophomore quarterback has ever had in high school football in Georgia. The kid's unreal. He's currently committed to Southern Cal, was in the 26 class, reclassified to the 2025 class, and he's the number 9 overall prospect in the country, the number 2 quarterback. Georgia kid that I've heard about for a long time. I was getting tagged in some of his clips from 6th and 7th grade. Kid's the real deal. There was a lot of hype about him. It is legitimate, and he is a big Georgia target. So he was back in Athens this weekend. Again, still committed to Southern Cal, but if things were, if he decided to open things up, right, and give everyone a real look, decommit publicly from Southern Cal, I think Georgia would be in a pretty good spot to land him. Of course, a lot of factors in play, right? A kid like him, he's gonna, earn top dollar from an NIL standpoint. So that box has to be checked, right? But he knows what Georgia's building, and I actually caught up with him a little bit. Here's what he had to say about Georgia after this weekend's visit. He said the difference between Georgia and everyone else is the type of guys you get to spend the day with. The linemen are bigger and the DBs are longer. I've been on a lot of visits, and the offensive staff meeting by position at Georgia was crazy. They've literally had success at every position. He knows if he were to go to Georgia that he would have a massive offensive line in front of him, a stable of running backs, the best tight end room in America, probably, if Todd Hartley keeps it up, and weapons all over the place at wide receiver, whether it's through high school recruiting them or getting them out of the transfer portal, because that's the easiest one to get, right? Go get a wide receiver 2 every cycle and you'll be fine there. Again, a lot of schools are going to be involved. Again, still committed to the Trojans, but he's definitely a guy to know if he opens things up. He's a guy to know already because he's very good, top 10 player in the country, and he's coming off a visit to Georgia. Another guy that the Dogs won badly, and I've talked about this kid for a while, Zan Grady out of South Alabama, Enterprise High School, completely dominated last year. High 4-star kid, long, lean, athletic pass rusher. Your Leonard Floyd looking type, like 6'4", 215. Is that what I just said? Was it different? Doesn't matter. This kid is explosive, and he was as productive as anyone in the state of Alabama last year. 108 tackles, 37 tackles for a loss, 22 sacks, 27 quarterback hurries, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 blocked kicks as a sophomore. This is what he had to say after this visit. He said, my favorite part, I think, just being able to continue building relationships there at Georgia. I think the energy and expectations set by the entire program also stands out about Georgia. Winning there is a must. He's exactly right. Georgia's, that's their standard now. Those are the expectations. It's compete for a national championship every single year. And occasionally you win one, sometimes you win 2 in a row, but every year you better be in a position to at least compete for one, be in the running until December, right? Or beyond. And he knows that. He was committed to Alabama. It's important that staff goes down and gets this kid back on the commit list. Auburn's going to be a big player here. Zan Grady's been at Athens a lot, and I think Georgia is a team trending for him right now. Top 50 player in the country. No big deal. His teammate was also there, Eric Winters. Eric Winters is a guy who could play all over the place. Quarterback, running back, receiver, DB, kick return, punt return, blocking kicks. He's another South Alabama kid, I think from the Mobile area, plays basketball, just an athlete. I think Glenn Schumann's the guy taking hold of his recruitment right now. I asked him, I said, okay, coming off a visit to Athens, what makes Georgia special, right? He said the people at Georgia want to stay at Georgia. There's great stability there, and just the way the Georgia staff connects with everyone is a great thing to see. He said what makes Georgia special to me is their ability to develop guys like me and the way they've been a top, if not the top defense in the last 5 years. This guy gets it. He gets it. He understands what's going on. 2025 athlete. Don't have his height and weight listed here, but you can read it. You can read all about it over on Dawg Post. I'm just reading the quotes that I was given by some of these prospects after their visit. Of course, they want to update Dawg Post. They want to update Coach DeBray. Of course they do. They couldn't wait to get back to me. So we got those quotes and notes over on Dawg Post. A lot going on over there. You can sign up signing up to our free newsletter. That link is right down below. It's free to sign up. It's free to read. A lot of these stories are free, actually. These are free stories, just recruiting stories. I'm just typing for fun, for you. They're free. So click that link down below. It's free to do that. It's free to read stories on Dawg Post. You can read all about this young man, Eric Winters, Julian Lewis, Marshall Pritchett, who is a 2025 wide receiver. I think his dad played at Notre Dame. He's up at Rabun Gap, up in the mountains. Crafty, good route runner at like 6'4", 215, really good hands. He's been very productive over the past 2 seasons, and I think Georgia might be starting to push for him. He was on campus this past weekend. A lot of offers. I've been writing about that kid for, when he didn't have any offers at all. Now he's got them all. So he's a possession receiver with good speed who can create separation on his own, create separation and get open. So he's a guy to keep an eye on. Dorian Barney is a really impressive overall athlete. I think he'll play safety or cornerback. He plays at Peachtree Ridge, one of the top 2026 prospects on the rise. Xavier Griffin is another big-time pass rusher, defensive end type out of Gainesville. He's earned a bunch of offers. Georgia offered I guess a couple weeks ago. He was in Athens this past weekend. You can read all about him over on Dawg Post. So we want to give you, a little scoop, a little detail here, just a couple scoops, but you can get all the scoop, all the details over on Dawg Post. Nayland Scott is a 2026 wide receiver out of Kennesaw Mountain who is a track guy at 6'3". He's a guy to know. But a lot of 25 wide receivers. I got an update, another story you can read for free over on Dawg Post. Jamari Bryce is a 2025 wide receiver out of Cartersville, and then Nayland Scott. So a couple kind of North Georgia up 75 wide receivers to know. One's in the 25 class, one's in the 26 class. But a lot of them tell me that, it's a game changer when Georgia offers them. And when they see Kirby Smart coming in with the helicopter in January, stopping by the school, and everyone looks out of the classroom or goes down the hall to catch a glimpse of the helicopter, and they leave with an offer. They hear they've earned an offer from Georgia, especially a lot of these in-state kids, not all of them, but a lot of them. It does mean a lot to them. And they all say, great things. It's easy to get updates when you're asking about the Dogs because people want to talk about it. People are excited when they get an offer. Their buddy gets an offer from Georgia. So it is a big deal, and these are kind of life-changing days for these young men when they earn a big-time scholarship to whether it's Georgia or any other big-time program where they know they can go to school and play football. It's a big deal when they get these offers. But yeah, a lot of it was a big-time weekend, of course, and I think Julian Lewis was kind of the headliner there. But Zan Grady's a guy to know. A lot of kids in the 26 class, a lot in the 25 class. So I don't want to say all the names because I want y'all to go over to Dawg Post to read more about these guys. But Tyler Atkinson is another kid I've written about. He was there during the week on Wednesday, an elite pass rusher out of Grayson who was just crushing dudes last year. If you know about Tyler Atkinson, you know how good he is. He was coming up in that same class as Julian Lewis, but Julian, of course, is now in the 25 class, will play his last year. If you're in Carrollton, if you're in the Carrollton, West Georgia area, go see this kid. He is definitely worth it. I saw him in person play against Westlake 2 years ago, but I've seen him in camps. I think I might watch him at the Under Armour camp later this month. I don't know if Lewis will be there. I expect him to because the kid loves to play. He loves to get better. He loves to compete. But yeah, big time recruiting weekend. And I think Georgia is set up nicely, definitely in the 25 class, getting a lot of those in-state kind of 4- and 5-star commitments who are already in the state of Georgia on the commit list, getting them back on campus. Ethan Barber was trying to take a visit out to California with a 7-on-7 team. He's a 4-star tight end commit out of Alpharetta. Plans didn't work out, so he was back in Athens this weekend, just developing a better relationship with Coach Harley and that staff. If you're in Alpharetta, go see that kid. He was one of the best players I saw all of last year. So get to know Ethan Barber. They're off to the races in 2025. I know they are wrapping up, I guess Wednesday is signing day. I don't think Georgia will add anyone unless it's Terry Bussey. A guy to know right now. I think he stays with A&M, but you never know. It would not shock me if Georgia landed that kid, adds another 5-star, but right now it doesn't look likely. We'll see if things change over the next 24 hours. But Yeah, big time weekend. And of course, you can read all about it over on Dawg Post. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. We've got another one coming up. But again, sign up to our free newsletter. That link is down below. Hope to see you over on the website.